Hey everybody, welcome to this the second video in the series for value holder UI elements. So this demo app that we built, we've kind of come up with 5 categories. This is the second category of, it consists of three groups. The first group is number input, the second one is validated input, the third one is inputs that can be highlighted. So let's quickly jump onto number input. So the first one in this example is simple input field, wherein you have a minimum and a maximum value. It has to be within that range. If you specify anything outside that range, you get an error message. So you can do, if you specify something between the range, you're okay. So this is controlled by the value object property on the model field, and which obviously means that you need to bind the value of this input field to a model field. So that's the input number. Simple number can be validated fundamentally. So second one is the step input. Works best on mobile devices, and it can increment the number by hitting the plus or minuses, or decrement by hitting the minus. There's a maximum limit 10, and then there is a minimum of 1. So that's step input. The range slider is the third one. This works by allowing the user to slide the from range or the to range, so that you can get a kind of a range between the from value and the to value. And if you place a cursor on the from range, you'll essentially see what the from number is, and the to range will tell you what the to number is. Again, this works best. You can also have just one single slider instead of having two. It works best for mobile devices, but on desktop it can be quite funky, simply because you don't know exactly what the number is till you place it, till the tooltip tells you. And if the number range is large, for example 100 for example, it can be quite tricky to exactly place it at the value that you need the first time around. So that's the disadvantage of this. Now coming to the validated input. So this is valid for any type of input, be it text, number, whatever. Fundamentally, the input field requires a value to be specified before you move to the next step. So if you don't specify a value in the input field and click next, you get a value state error, and essentially you will need to overwrite it. You'll need to specify a value, and then you hit next. The value state disappears and you're okay. So that's that. The third category is all highlights. So highlights work best when there are a series or a group of input elements very close to each other and you don't quite know where the focus is. So you have a box shadow for the field that has the focus, like so that it's clear to the user that this is where the focus is at this point in time. Again, it doesn't make sense for us to do this for every input field, but if there are a whole series, for example, if you're building a timesheet app or a grid wherein there are a series of input fields, this makes sense. The next category under the highlighted inputs is setting a background color and a font color based on the input field, just to highlight the input field. Again, this should be used sparingly, should not be used for every single input. So you can do this, like this, and so that it's clearly visible amidst other input fields. So you can reset it as well, like so. So that's the purpose of the input with background color. The font color also correspondingly changes, so you can type whatever you want, like so. So that finishes up this video, the second video of a demo app on value holder elements. Thank you for watching.